I just wanted to make a little short live video about some things that I've gleaned since yesterday even, which is wonderful because, Edward says you're the problem and you're the solution, and it's all true. I am the problem and I am the solution. And there's just one thing to do about it, really, and that is to meet myself, my inner being, in a space of grace and quiet stillness and unconditional love. And something that I've been practicing since last night, because I was is that so what I do is I've been kind of like practicing my visual of going into my imagination and meeting my inner being. So I see my imagination as this like landscape, and I have a gate, and over the gate is this big sign that says imagination. Imagine that, right? And I walk through the gate and I go and I meet my inner being, and sometimes my inner being looks like me. Sometimes my inner being just looks like a luminous light being. And yesterday I went and I sat down with my inner being, and we took each other's hands, and I just sat in silent presence with my inner being, and I realized something, that no matter how angry I am or mad I am at someone or something outside of me, I don't have to bring that to my inner being. I don't have to bring that to my I don't have to give that to myself. And it also occurred to me that my inner being is kind of like a spiritual kidney. And when I go there in a space of, let's try this again, in-depth video about this, but I realized my being can all the sticky herd that come along with feeling justified or feeling like you have reasons to feel upset or offended or hurt, anything outside of yourself. And you don't want to go giving yourself all that crap. I mean, on the inner, especially if you're already experiencing it on the outer. So when I go into my imagination and I sit with my inner being, I can trust and believe and have confidence that I'm giving myself unconditional love by just showing up for myself. Otherwise, it's that same thing. You just abandon yourself every time you choose to follow reason and feel hurt or angry or unhappy. Because, friend, you're the problem and you're the solution, right? And if you're the problem, that means any problem that comes your way, you automatically have the solution to that problem. And it's not by blaming or reasoning your way through it. It's by just actually recognizing that you are the solution, and you want to give that to your inner being. So yeah, just think of your inner being as the perfect filter for what you're giving yourself. So if you're giving yourself unconditional love, your inner being is going to give that back to you, and then even more. It's going to be amplified, and it's going to feel good, and you're going to know it by how it feels. It's going to feel like relief. If you're bringing a bunch of the problem focus to your inner being doesn't know what to do with that other than to amplify it and give that back to you, because it's just giving you what you're giving to it. Does that make sense? I mean, it's really that simple. Like, it's not as hard when you show up for yourself and you recognize that you're the only one who can give yourself the solution that you want. And then you let divine spirit, you let source sort through it and figure everything out. But it doesn't matter who in the outer world, what's going on in the outer world. It doesn't matter if you are having conflict and resistance with someone, or if you're in a situation where you're having conflict and resistance, just in general with yourself. And once you start practicing and persisting this truth, lovely things start to show up in your outer world. And I know it works because it's working. I was having, and that's why I'm sharing these parts of my life with you that I don't necessarily feel comfortable, sharing intimate details of my struggles and stuff. But I've been kind of doing that anyways since I started this channel. But it's not to vent, and it's not to beat the drum of the problem. It's always because I want to share how to show up for myself and be the solution, right? And that comes from just practicing and persisting in showing up for yourself and giving yourself exactly what you want. And if you don't know what exactly you want from a situation that you might be experiencing in the outer that doesn't feel good, you can just go into your imagination and sit in in a silent space and grace with your inner being, because there's no judgment there from your inner being. Your inner being is there for you. It's your best friend. It's your beloved. There's no relationship that's more important than that loving connection that you have with your inner being, because it's gonna take what you give it, and it's gonna give you more than you could possibly imagine. And it'll happen, and you don't have to take my word for it. This has just been my personal experience as I'm going with it. But I'm learning how to resolve a lot of things that have stymied me over the last few years, and in many instances throughout my life. And every breakdown can lead you to massive breakthroughs. That's what your inner being is for. It's that part of you that is just so precious and amazing, and it's there for you. So with that, I hope your day is amazing. Until we talk again, friend, much love. Hey, baby.